So we're looking forward to a day to remember. Last thoughts, Gordon, how do you see it going?
I think we're in for an entertaining game. I think probably Dundee will come out with a lot of credit out of this, but I think Rangers will win the game. I think that they've just got superior firepower, and I think that from that point of view, the fact is that the relaxed atmosphere of getting into this game with the 2 trophies in the bag, I think that'll be significant.
Yeah, it's been a long season, and there's always that feeling that this is it. One more, lads. Let's just get over the final hurdle, and we can relax. We've done a treble.
Definitely, I think that makes a big difference, and I think that there'll obviously be a loss to them. No disrespect to Bob Malcolm, but without Arteta, it's a loss. But Bob Malcolm's got an opportunity to get in today and do well. So I think that'll be enough for Rangers to win the game.
Billy, how do you see it?
Dundee, Rangers are obviously favourites. Me being a gamble man, I think 9-1 odds for Dundee is quite attractive.
That's quite generous, I would have thought.
50-50, 2-horse race, as I say. But if Rangers play well, actually they should win. But if anybody can cause them problems, I think it's this Dundee team today, just for the fact they go out and play attacking football. I'm not going to be a lot of teams who play against Rangers and sit back and try and soak up. They're going to go and attack them in a one-off day.
I suppose it's the old cliche, Gordon. First 10-15 minutes are awfully important, aren't they?
Plus 70. If they're still 1-0 down or 0-0, if 70 minutes, they've got a chance to go into extra time. And then they've got a right good chance. I think 5 Dundee players today will have to play the best games of their life to win the game, and they'll need a bit of luck.
And the other 6 will have to play pretty close to
well.
it. Yeah.
They 5 have got to raise the other lot up and keep to a standard for them to win the game today. I really do hope they get the 6 players up to that level.
Right, all right, so there we are then. Kick-off time is fast approaching, so let's look forward to this year's Tennant Scottish Cup final. It's Dundee against Rangers. It should be an entertaining one.
BBC Scotland's 55th live football match of the season is the 118th Scottish Cup final. A treble chance for Rangers, and for Dundee a win here would crown an amazing turnaround in the second half of the season. Barry Ferguson hoping to follow some famous names up the steps later this afternoon if Rangers can make it a clean sweep of Scottish football's big prizes. And Alec McLeish would join a pretty impressive roll of honour as well. A big turnout from the Dundee supporters, as you would expect. It's been so long for them. Dundee's last cup final was the Coca-Cola Cup final of 1995. But looking to update things today in the Scottish Cup final against Rangers. Here's the Dundee side. The only decision for Jim Duffy to make was who would partner Fabian Caballero and Steve Lovell in attack. Former Celtic striker Mark Burchill getting the nod ahead of Nacho Novo and Stephen Milne. And of course the other notable absentee we've just heard from him is suspended Lee Wilkie, and Lee Mayer takes his place.
It's a very positive system from Jim Duffy as always. It's a system that's worked so very well for Dundee since the winter break. If you look through that team, there's a great backbone to the team. You've got Speroni in goal, Christmas Bailey centre back, Namzati centre midfield, and Fabian Caballero up front, who's so important to them. And Jim Duffy, I'm sure today, set his team out to attack, to have a go and try and win the cup for the first time in a long, long time.
Well, last year's cup final match winner Peter Lovenkrantz was counted out for Rangers earlier in the week. Also counted out because of injury, Mikel Arteta. His penalty sealed the title victory last weekend. That means that Bob Malcolm is brought in to play the holding role in midfield. And Neil McCann, who impressed last Sunday as a substitute in the second half, replaces Claudio Caniggia in the starting lineup. Caniggia has a back injury.
I'm sure Alan McLeish's Rangers team are desperate to win the treble. They've done so well this season. It's a very attack-minded line-up again. Good balance in the middle of the park with Bob Malcolm doing the holding role to allow Ferguson and especially Roland de Boer to get forward and support the front players. And it could be a very, very special day as well for Lorenzo Amoruso if this turns out to be his last game in the Rangers jersey.
A big day for Bob Malcolm, but he's featured pretty heavily this season in any case, deputising for Moore and Amoruso in the middle of the back four. And he's proved as well previously that he can compete in that central area, and he presumably will be keeping a very close eye on Georgian Mzante and try to stamp out the creativity that comes from the Georgian skipper. Lorenzo Amoruso, could be an emotional farewell from him this afternoon as he bids to leave Rangers. He told us last weekend he doesn't want to go, but a lot of deals being done in the background, and it seems as if Amoruso will be leaving the club. Kenny Clark is the referee. It's his second Scottish Cup final. He took charge of Celtic Hibs a couple of years back, and it's his second cup final of the season because he was in charge in the CIS final when Rangers beat Celtic. He's a criminal lawyer, and that might just come in handy. The last time Rangers wore their change strip in a Scottish Cup final was 39 years ago. Who did they play that day? Dundee. Were they completing a treble or trying to? Yes, they were. Rangers hope that might be an omen against Dundee team whose Cup final appearances have been few and far between. This is their 5th Scottish Cup final, Dundee, and that's against 47 for the opposition. And Rangers have won 30, and if they win today, they will be level with Celtic, who boast 31. Rickson's pass for de Boer. Bob Malcolm leaves it to Barry Ferguson. Good strong challenge from Kisnishvili. Fernandez launched over the top. Birchall's after it, and a very calm header from Arthur Newman. Another who will be bidding farewell to Rangers after this, Mark Birchall, whose first goal for Dundee was against Celtic.
Just watching early on in the match, Roland de Boer is playing right up front beside Michael Moles. It's a little bit of a surprise, and I'm sure it'll cause Jim Duffy a problem. Something I'll have to look at.
No free kick for Malcolm's challenge, despite the roars from the Dundee supporters. Gavin Ray with Lovell and Caballero up ahead of him, and that's well won by Barry Ferguson.
That's good play from the Rangers captain. When he's not on the ball, he works so hard to win possession, get the ball back. He's also very comfortable on the ball. That's what makes him such a special player.
A long raking pass from Rickson, picks out McCann. And that's a disappointing cross from McCann, whose deliveries into the middle last Sunday against Dunfermline were crucial in landing Rangers the title. 3 of his supplies from the left side were tucked away.
That's why he's playing today, Rob. He played so well for 45 minutes last week. A bit disappointed with the cross, his first cross of the match, and Jim Duffy here. I'm sure he'll be saying to Dave McCann's opposite player today, you've got to get tight to him, stop the crosses coming into the box.
Limeir's challenge, wins it for Dundee. Kisnishvili was being held by Michael Moles. Nemzadze made to hurry by De Boer. Dundee lose possession. McCann lost his footing. No free kick. Birchall to Lovell. Tried to shove Amoruso out of the way. Good luck to him.
He's given a free kick against Amoruso. You see here, it's the arm in the face. That's why Kenny Clark's awarded the free kick in Dundee's favour. Steve Lovell won't be messed about. He's a very aggressive type of player, and that man Amoruso, I'm sure he'll relish the challenge.
So often, of course, those go unpunished.
That's right, they do, Rob. It's good refereeing from Kenny Clark. He spotted it well.
Georgi Nemzadze, the semi-final match winner against Inverness. His ball into the box, headed away by Newman. Gavin Ray. Ray's shot blocked by Amoruso. Now Barry Smith. So close to the opening goal from Barry Smith. 4 minutes gone. Stefan Klos was beaten.
Great play from Dundee, first of all from Gavin Ray, willing to have a go, and then Barry Smith following up. Almost made it a dramatic start.
Ferguson stumbles and falls. It's a goal kick. And at the other end, Barry Smith, who scored against Celtic a couple of weeks back, so close here to the cup final opener.
There's only one thing in his mind. He does really well to keep the ball down, gets it on target. Stefan Klos may just have got it there if it sneaked inside the post, but that's a marvellous effort, strikes it well. And I don't know, Klos is just about there.
And when you looked at that from behind the goals, it swerved a long way, it swerved away from Klos, and he was grateful to that left hand upright to keep the Smith shot out. To say he doesn't score often, Barry Smith, is the understatement. He's scored twice for Dundee in more than 300 games. So I think we would see some celebration if it did hit the net.
I'm sure he would. He scored a couple of weeks ago at Celtic Park, didn't he? So he's scored against Old Firm before. But that early bit of play, the shot from Ray and then the follow-up from Barry Smith, that'll help Dundee settle.
Rickson's cross. Dave Mackay's headed away. First there is Birchall. Hooked on for Caballero. Policed very closely by Malcolm.
He does that so well, Caballero. Holds the ball up, entices the defender to make the challenge. Invariably wins a free kick, a throw and a corner kick.
Turns away from Newman, Fabian Caballero, and delivers the cross beyond Lovell. And it's been a very positive start from Dundee, looking to take up where they left off 4 weeks ago at Dens Park, when they came within minutes of beating Rangers in the league. Remember Mikel Arteta's late equaliser from the penalty spot. Ferguson probing in behind the Dundee defence. That's Arveladze. Needed a bit more pace on the cutback to be any problem for Speroni.
Couldn't get enough on Arveladze. Great ball there from Barry Ferguson. Arveladze getting there first. It's going to just get a little bit more on it, pull it back a little bit, take the goalkeeper out of the equation. It's a good touch from Speroni.
Six and a half minutes gone of the 2003 Tennant Scottish Cup final. And Julian Speroni there showing that he had a bang in the face at training yesterday, collided with Lee Mayer. Thought he'd broken his nose at the time, and there was a fear that Speroni might miss out on this, but a couple of kickers, but he looks okay apart from that.
I'm sure he'll be okay. Goalkeepers get that all the time.
Rickson to De Boer. Laid off for Ferguson, and wide for Newman. Dave Mackay snapping at Neil McCann's heels. Newman switches it to Arveladze. Ronald De Boer, cleared by Mayer. And Lovell holds it up for Hernandez. And Caballero. Lovely turn, brilliant change of direction from Caballero. Through the middle, looking for Birchall. And that's good defending from Arthur Newman.
That's great play from Dundee. Caballero involved again. It's a marvellous start to the match, and Mark Burchell's pace almost getting him beyond Arthur Newman.
Ferguson picks out Rickson. De Boer coming short to receive again. Shot to Arveladze. Looking to combine with Moles, but Barry Smith clears only as far as Ferguson. McCann held up by Mackay. In possession, one back for Dundee by Nemzadze. Gavin Ray wasn't happy with the pass. Back in Rangers' possession. Arveladze roaming around the pitch. Shooting chance. Blocked by Mir. And that's a foul on Caballero by Rickson.
He's very late, Fernando Rickson. Caballero again involved in it. And Rickson, really, that's a pure challenge.
Tony Hernandez. Barry Smith, who rattled the post early on. If you've just joined us, Dundee within a fraction of an inch of opening the scoring. Mark Burchell gets turned through for Steve Lovell. Good save by Kloss, very quickly out as Dundee threatened again.
Great attacking play again from Dundee. The ball into feet. Mark Burchell allowed to turn on the edge of the box. That's a good ball forward. Lovell's very brave, won't give that one up. But Stephen Kloss up to the challenge, manages to block it. Again, a real threat from Dundee going forward.
The left footer Fernandez to play this in. And marked was Steve Lovell. Didn't get over the header, but who was meant to be picking up the Dundee striker there?
Well, I'm watching Lorenzo Amoruso. He is absolutely raging at his teammates for not picking up Lovell. It's a free header. It's just too high. He can't go over the ball to cause enough problems. But really, someone will have been delegated there to pick him up. I think Lorenzo's having a go at Bob Malcolm.
And Jim Duffy knows that was a chance. Amaruso's pass to Rickson. Over the top for Ronald de Boer. Arveladze! Well, that just about hits the corner flag. It was a real opportunity set up by de Boer.
It's a half chance. Great awareness from Ronald de Boer. Watch this. He can't finish it. He's only going to have one touch, so he plays it back to Arveladze. And really, you've got to do better from there. A little bit more composure. Got to make the goalkeeper work.
Well, we've admired the intelligence of Ronald de Boer all season long, and there was another shining example of it as he knocked the ball back, realising Arveladze had the better chance to score. Alec McLeish disappointed that the Georgian couldn't tuck that one away. Arveladze, who's won national cup competitions in Georgia, Turkey, Holland, and now Scotland. We didn't expect Dundee to display an inferiority complex, and they certainly aren't.
It's going to make it a good game. Well, both teams want to pass the ball, want to create opportunities by playing good football. And Dundee, you've got to say, have the best chances going forward in the early part of the match.
Given away that time by Kisnishvili. De Boer to McCann. That's for Ronald de Boer. Couldn't hit the target.
Great defending. Tony Hernandez does really well here. Ronald de Boer peels off the centre back, gets first to the ball, but Hernandez puts him under enough pressure, stops him getting a clear header on target.
But I think de Boer's head in his hands after McCann's cross picked him out, told a story there. Jim Duffy's team have lost only 3 games since the winter break, 3 out of 19, and that time they've drawn with both Rangers and Celtic. That's where the belief comes from. Harry Smith knocks it into the corner. Out comes Kloss, who's been far from quiet in the first 13 minutes. Caballero. Craig Moore shot at Arveladze. Lorenzo Amoruso. Arveladze, who's contributed 16 goals this season. Disappointing first touch from McCann, which allows Dave Mackay to intercept.
It was a great pass from Arveladze, full width to the pitch. Dave Mackay will have his work cut out today. Will McCann, I'm sure, will continue to take him on.
Newman's cross. All the way through to Rickson. That's a great challenge from Steve Lovell.
Referee's given the
Well, I thought he got the ball.
He was very aggressive with the challenge. I think that's what maybe why Kenny Clark gives a free kick. His foot's off the ground as well. He certainly makes a lot of contact with the ball, and often they're allowed to play on after that. It makes full contact with the ball, but I'm pretty certain Kenny Clark's awarded a free kick because his foot's off the ground.
You keep telling me it's a man's game as well.
Well, I wouldn't have given the free kick, but I'm just trying to see why the referee's giving it.
Thankfully, you're not the ref. Neil McCann with the free kick, and Michael Moles rattles the crossbar, touched away by Speroni. Free kick given. Dundee have hit the post, and now Rangers have hit the crossbar.
This is a great free kick from Neil McCann. It's so hard to defend against this. Left foot, right hand side, goalkeeper can't come for it. Michael Moles attacks it really well. Gets it on target, but just doesn't get it underneath the crossbar. Good timing from Moles. He's up well, nice and early.
That was a really good header, Sandy, because he was under a fair bit of pressure from Dave Mackay, and there was still work to be done for Julian Speroni. Caballero trying to force his way through. And he is a real danger to Rangers, and they know it.
Well, it's Neil McCann back here defending against Caballero. Caballero just pushes him out the road. McCann trying to get back the way. There's a little bit of contact made there, but I don't think it's deliberate. Kenny Clark right away looked at the instant and wave play on.
Kisnesvili chests it down, but Moles nips in front of him. Arveladze to Malcolm. Hoisted for Neil McCann. No free kick. I think again he lost his footing there rather than any infringement from Mackay.
That's twice Neil McCann slipped in the early part of the game.
Ray's pass, and Stefan Kloss well outside the penalty box to get there before Steve Lovell, who was moving at a fair old pace through the middle.
He certainly puts himself about Steve Lovell, rightly so. Don't let defenders settle.
Let's hear from Chick in the technical area.
I think the Rangers dugout have had a problem with Bob Malcolm. Alex McLeish's been down 2 or 3 times, getting a word to Fernando Rickson, who's the nearest player to him, to go and tell Malcolm. I think he feels that Malcolm's pushing on too much, Rob. Wants him a little bit deeper. And I have to say that free kick that was given that created the chance for Rangers, Jim Duffy was absolutely raging at the fourth official. He felt it was a good tackle. The time, actually, it was perpetrated by Duffy in his playing days.
Yeah, he got away with a few in his time, didn't he, Jim Duffy? He was player manager the last time Dundee were in a cup final. That's Coca-Cola Cup final 8 years ago when they lost to Aberdeen. I seem to remember one William Dodds scored one of the Aberdeen goals that day. Amaruso's header, flipped on by Moles. Then recovering is Lemire. Now with Zurich Kizniashvili. The clever money is on a move to Rangers for Kizniashvili in the summer, although no pre-contract agreement signed, we're told. Gavin Ray powering through the midfield. Tony Hernandez, Virtual stepped over it, but Lovell and Caballero were both static. Free kick against Michael Moles.
Just a nudge here on Mzadzi. He's having a cross him, taking him out of the game. Mzadzi's still on the ground. It's obviously the way he's landed. Looks like a dead leg, the way he's having a little massage on his thigh. You see here again, Michael Moles is up nice and early. He's across his body though. Can't see any contact on his leg, mind you.
Moles against Kizniashvili. It looks as if it will be one out, one in during the summer. Although there has been some talk of Michael Moles being offered a one-year extension to his contract, and if they do let him go, Sandy, that only raises the problem of who's going to replace him.
Well, Michael Moles, I think he's been a good player for Rangers. He's come back from a very bad injury. He scored a decent amount of goals, but he seems to always our only score at Ibrox. Very seldom scores away from home, although he did get a goal here in the semi-final.
Dundee enjoying the Hampden sunshine so far. Caballero's header. Moore to Ferguson. Avalanta and Rickson. Barry Smith. And Barry Ferguson's foot was up. Free kick for Dundee.
I thought Barry got the ball as well there, but it's the high foot. That's why the referee's awarding free kicks.
There's the man of the match telephone number, 0900 10 200 25 for those prizes that Dougie told you about earlier. Mayer, Caballero, Amoruso right at his back. Lee Mayer continued to run forward. Rangers hand it straight back to Dundee. Ferguson doing his best to deprive firstly Mzadzi of the ball, then Gavin Ray. Ray calm and composed. And a performance here from Gavin Ray could get him into the Scotland squad for next weekend's match against Germany.
He's a big, strong, powerful player, Gavin Ray. Very direct. Hard to stop when he runs forward with the ball.
I think he has a flight to Australia planned for next weekend, but some things have to wait. Rickson with a dangerous pass in field, which missed out on Malcolm. Mzadzi reared up onto the arm of Lovell. Free kick.
No complaints here from Steve Lovell. Poor first touch.
Neil McCann stretching his legs. Ferguson to Rickson. Bob Malcolm rolled into the feet of Michael Moles, tried to get turned away from Kizniashvili, but slipped at the key moment. The pitch has been well watered ahead of this match, and with quite a few players slipping and sliding around.
That was a chance for Michael Moles if he hadn't lost his footing. He does that so well.
Malcolm, good running, good movement up ahead from Ronald de Boer. Two Dundee players with him. It's won by Mayer. And hooked straight to Fernando Rickson. De Boer's cross, great delivery, headed away by Ray. Now Rickson, that's good Dundee defending. Very quickly on top of Rickson as he was preparing to shoot.
They had to defend well there. Marvellous ball in first and foremost for Ronald de Boer. Rickson falling up, just couldn't get time and space because of the presence of the Dundee defenders.
Rickson's throw. Arveladze's flick, and it bobbles wide.
Avalanche, I would think they were unhappy with Michael Moles. You've got to take a chance. The first striker gets a touch on the ball, the second one's got to take a gamble, go in behind him. You might just get a goal. Alan McLeish, I'm sure, is thinking that right at this moment.
Well, we heard him talking earlier in the programme about the scribbled notes. It's just because he's got a bad memory. He can't remember what he was going to take to the players at half-time unless he writes it down. Old age comes to us all. Untidy from Rangers.
I think you give Dundee credit, Rob. They've knocked Rangers out the stride just a little bit. Rangers haven't passed the ball as well as they normally do, and that's because of the pressure being put on them by the Dundee players. They're working so hard all over the pitch.
Possession lost by Hernandez. Arveladze to De Boer. That's well won by Georgian Mzadza. Now counter-attack on for Dundee. And for once, the quality of pass from the Georgian international team captain below par.
It's not like him. Does so well in Mzadza to win the ball in the first place. This is his strength. Normally he would pick a pass here. He just overhits this one. Levels one into feet. He plays it in behind. Breakdown in communications.
Michael Moles. No great fluency there for Rangers. Losing cohesion. You have to give Dundee a pat on the back for the way they've approached this.
When you look at the system both teams are playing there, Rob, Rangers have almost got 4 up. They're almost playing 4-2-4. That gives Dundee an extra man in the middle of the park.
Terrific turn from De Boer. Just wide. Corner kick, it was deflected wide, and what a goal that would have been had it gone in.
Great play from Ronald De Boer. He turns so well here. He can't pass the ball to Michael Moles. Moles has ran offside, so he's got to go on his own. One thing in his mind, I'm going to have a go here. Gets a deflection to win the corner kick, but great awareness, great play from Ronald De Boer again.
Great strength from De Boer, apart from anything else there to ride the challenge. Neil McCann's corner, and that's a complete waste into the side net, and he'll be hearing all about that from his teammates in the middle.
I think the pen and paper might be out again. Taking note of that one.
I think he might be hearing it from the manager as well. Chick has been keeping his eye on the tactics, and we always listen to him with a lot of respect, obviously.
I would think so too. I have to say there's been a bit of a powwow between Alex McLeish and Wouters and Andy Watson. Bob Malcolm again has been the subject of their discussion, but also the role of shot at Arveladze. We'll just watch him over the next few minutes, Rob. He said a word. Alex McLeish has been down at the technical area, having a word with Arveladze and his contribution to the game. Things may change in that area, so watch him and watch Malcolm.
Okay, thanks for that. De Boer turning away from Gavin Ray this time. Barry Ferguson. Neil McCann with the cross off Dave Mackay. Another corner.
But Neil McCann, it's a poor ball again from him. You've got to beat the first man.
The quality of his deliveries so good last Sunday in the second half, but hasn't really come up with the goods so far here.
The one thing about Neil McCann, he'll keep going. He won't let his head go down because of it. He'll keep taking people on.
Rickson's corner kick. Good take by Julian Speroni. It was a busy 6-yard box, but he kept his eyes firmly focused.
This is great goalkeeping. Look at the amount of bodies inside that 6-yard box. Only one thing in Julian Speroni's mind: keep his eye on the ball, take it at its highest point, and catches it well.
Birchall putting pressure on Newman, but free kick given against the on-loan Portsmouth striker.
That's a silly free kick to give away, Rob. Arthur Newman's going nowhere. Dundee at very worst, they're going to get a throw-in down near the corner flag. And Mark Birchall just leaned into Arthur Newman as much as anything else, right in front of the assistant referee, who awarded the free kick right away.
Rangers hoping number 50 is important this afternoon. They won their 50th title last Sunday, and this their 50th game of the season, which could clinch the treble for them. Closest things we've had so far. Barry Smith's shot against the post for Dundee, and the header from Moles against the crossbar for Rangers. BBC Scotland at the Tennant Scottish Cup final. Ferguson to Rickson. Space for Arveladze. Confusion in the Dundee defence, and that's a great clearance by Dave Mackay. Got there with terrific pace ahead of McCann. And now the match sweeping the other way. Caballero back to Ray. And back with Speroni. Arthur Newman in his farewell match for Rangers. McCann trying to escape the clutches of Mackay. It's not proved easy for him. Newman into the feet of Moles. Great turn. And laid off for McCann. The cross beyond Arveladze. Rickson. Kisnishvili with the header away. Hernandez. Steve Lovell couldn't keep it.
Good spell of pressure from Rangers, trying to turn the screw a little bit.
McCann having a long look at what's on and switches flanks, and it was a difficult one for Fernando Rickson. Did well to divert that towards Ferguson. Shot at Arveladze. Ronald de Boer gets there before Kisnishvili. Laid back for Ferguson. Dave Mackay's header. Ferguson flips it back to Bob Malcolm. It's a spell of concerted pressure, this, from Rangers, looking to get the payoff. And that's a good cutout. Caballero easing away from Rickson. Now Burchill. Disappointing effort at goal from Mark Burchill.
Just picked it up, the wrong option, Rob. Good break on the counter-attack there from Jim Duffy's team. Caballero again involved. I think Jim's going down to have a word with one or two of his players there.
Some interesting little tactical tweaks going on here, Sandy.
Yeah, just the last few minutes there, Ronald de Boer dropped back into the middle of the park, but right now I'm just watching him again. He's up front beside Michael Moles. Fernando Rickson certainly trying to push on down the right-hand side, and Arveladze's playing maybe just a little bit more central. So I'm sure Alec and Jim Duffy are trying to work on one or two things to gain an advantage.
That's well kept by de Boer for Ferguson. Moles. Newman rolls it to the feet of McCann. That's great covering across from Gavin Ray, sensing that Dave Mackay had problems. McCann tries again. Well won Ray against Malcolm, but Bob Malcolm gets it back. .31.5 minutes gone. Still 0-0. And it's an engrossing tussle between these two.
It's a good match so far. Both teams are working so hard, so determined. Both obviously want very much to win the Tennant Scottish Cup. Not much between the two teams in this part of the game.
I'll tell you what, Ali McLeish won't be happy with the quality of the passing at times in this first half from his team. Under no great pressure, Rangers have given it away. And at times it's played into Dundee's hands. Steve Lovell more time than he thought.
Mark Butler made a great run there too. If Lovell had picked him out, his pace I'm sure would have taken him through on close.
McCann to Arveladze. That's well won. Strong play from Zura Kisnishvili. Played up to Fabien Caballero. He was having to do it all on his own there. Loses out. Ferguson to O'Neill McCann, who had to leap a couple of feet off the ground to get on the end of the pass. Georgine Mzadze, such a talented playmaker, but Rangers know all about that, and Arthur Newman was heavily into the back of the Georgian. That's great close control from Fabien Caballero, and wins a free kick. Looks as if he slipped to me.
Looked as if he'd got beyond Abeladze Andrickson and just lost his footing, but great play, great strength, awareness, using his body. He did slip, yep. I think the referee's given him the benefit of the doubt there. There may have been a bit of contact made as he went through between the two players.
Words for the Venezuelan-born Joni Hernandez from Kenny Clark. I think he's saying the referee is wearing yellow. Very fetching shade of yellow as well, isn't it? Set piece chance then for Dundee. Rangers 9-4 ahead in terms of fouls committed. That tells you how well Dundee have been going. Five in the box. In from Nemzadze. Given away by Moore. Gavin Ray has it. Nemzadze again. Good pass to Lee Mayer. Room to create on the right-hand side. Kisnishvili has to settle for a corner kick off Amoruso.
That was a chance to get a good ball in the box here from Kisnishvili. Good play again from Nemzadze.
I think everyone was waiting for him to flight the ball into the box, and he just rolled a pass to his fellow countryman.
Great vision, great awareness.
Hernandez with the in-swinging corner kick. Here's Lee Mayer, leaves it to Burchill. Gavin Ray, it's wide.
Decent effort from Gavin Ray. Again, Dundee causing lots of problems from the set piece. Good ball in. Burchill shot is blocked here. Gavin Ray following up again. Dundee first with the ball on 2 occasions. Gavin Ray, it's well wide. Stephen Kloss never troubled.
But what a great block that was by Craig Moore. The first shot from Burchill, he was so quickly out. But the worry for Rangers at the moment, Chick, is Stefan Kloss.
Yeah, Stephen Kloss, in that whole scramble there's been concern actually on the Rangers bench about Kloss for the last couple of minutes. They've already got Alan McGregor, the subject goalkeeper, warming up just in front of the technical area. Treatment at the moment to Kloss from the Rangers medical staff. And there has been concern. We'll watch the situation very closely. Let me tell you, when all that's been going on, Rob, Jim Duffy's been in a long conversation with his players. He's worried about his defence sitting in too deep, I think, asking him to push on, especially when the Rangers are in possession at the back. He thinks they're sitting in there too deep. But you can tell you they're doing very well Dundee. You can see the fans there. They're proud of what they've achieved so far. And Stephen Kloss, I can tell you, Rob, is okay. There's Alec McCutcheon from the Wordbees players, but behind that, Kloss is okay.
Well, it's not a phrase we often use in Scotland, but it's swelteringly hot for the cup final. And it's a draining sort of temperature, which will have its impact later in the game. For some, it's already having an impact. Malcolm to Rickson. Clever pass. The burst shot blocked by Kisnishvili. Hernandez to Caballero. Did so well to ride the challenge, firstly from Moore, but there was no way he was going to escape the follow-up tackle from Shota Abeladze.
It could have been a free kick the first time in Craig Moore, but Caballero plays that one well. It rolls over the leg of that could have been a free kick to start with. But Abeladze, if you just watch him here, there's a slight contact, but Caballero rides it well, wins the free kick.
Foul against Abeladze, but Caballero has that terrific combination of strength and skill, great touch, but try knocking him off the ball, it's not easy.
It's so important to Dundee when the ball's played up when he plays back to goal. Holds it in so well, allows the back players to get up, the midfield players to support him. But watching the game, Rob, one of the features for me has been the Dundee back four. I think they've played really well. Rangers are playing 3, sometimes 4 up, but they've denied them space right across that back area. And Speroni's had very little to do because of that.
It's sometimes difficult tying Rangers down to formation, isn't it? Because there is a lot of fluidity about the team, and there's a lot of interchangeability as well.
That's right, that's why it's really important that Dundee, as they say, the back four have got to keep their shape, don't let any gaps develop, and they've managed to do that well so far.
Neil McCann gets the break of the ball off Dave Mackay, and what a good header from Jorge Hernandez. Got there ahead of Avaladze. This was crucial.
It's great defending again. If you look along that line there, the Dundee, there's only 3 of them there. Mackay's away forward, but they all get back, they all play in their areas, and Hernandez does what he should be doing there, sweeping up round the back and make sure that the Avaladze can't get onto the ball first. That's really good defending as a 4.
McCann's corner, played in with a lot of pace. Kishnishvili heads it clear and then screams at his teammates to push out to the edge of the area. Bob Malcolm plays it in. Lee Mears header. Amaruso is there, so Steve Lovell. Hooks it away, but only as far as Newman. Fernando Rickson. He was caught by Namzadze. Free kick for Rangers. And the clock is ticking, just 6 minutes of the 45 remaining.
I wonder what's going on in that discussion there. I think Lorenzo's saying to Kenny Clark, will I shoot here?
I think Lorenzo's having words with Kenny Clark. That's the way it goes when those two get together. And he will see this as very much within his range. Mind you, if it's on the pitch, it's within his range, I think. Ferguson over it. And it's Lorenzo Amaruso taking the run up. Struck it well, but couldn't keep it down.
That's a good strike from a big Italian. He obviously wants to get on target, make the goalkeeper work, but it's so far out. The ball's always going to rise towards the end. Tries to get his head over it, keeps it down to start with. But Speroni not troubled again.
But Dundee will view that as a let-off.
They will do. As we said before, Speroni has had very little to do. Rangers not too many shots on target. I think you give the back 4 enormous credit for defending so well for the first 40 minutes of this match.
Rickson launches it, it's beyond Moles and all the way through. And when you pay credit to the Dundee back 4 performance, Sandy, you know the man who's been a big influence in that, of course, the man who played in the back 4 himself, Jim Duffy.
Well, you can see that the way the back 4 play. They all cover each other, they drop off at the right times, they tuck in to help each other, and they deny space. And Jim Duffy was the master at that.
And he speaks very highly of you as well, apparently. Oh, it's calming down slightly at the moment. The first half has been played at a fair old pace up till now, but the heat will have its effect.
It will do, and the longer the game goes, players will start to get tired, especially in these conditions, and that's when mistakes happen. So it's maybe the team who can concentrate the longest that might eventually get the result here. The first goal, the breakthrough, is going to be so important.
Can't believe we're complaining about the heat.
No, we're not complaining.
We're not. Might be some players out there complaining before this is over. And at the moment, Dundee and Rangers can't be separated. And each has struck the frame of the goal. Smith for Dundee, Moles for Rangers. And Dundee far from overawed against treble chasing Rangers. Dundee get a free kick. Rangers are not happy.
A few moans there.
It's with Caballero. He really does take some knocking down, Fabian Caballero. He's like one of these wee toys that keeps bouncing back up again.
Yeah, he's very strong, he's very willing as well. When Jim Duffy went to Dundee last summer, Caballero, I don't think was the fittest player on their books, maybe a little bit overweight. Give credit to the manager for getting his weight down, getting him motivated. And you see the end result now, he's a fabulously talented player.
Moles back to Newman. Alec McLeish has won 4 trophies in 18 months as Rangers manager. Can he make it 5? At the moment, every competition he's entered with a chance of winning it, he's won it. It's a fantastic record because the league was gone, of course, when he replaced Dick Advocat. And since then, We're talking 100% record. Mzadze almost caught out by Barry Ferguson there. Caballero holding off the challenge of Newman. Now Gavin Ray thrusting forward from midfield and wins a free kick against the challenge of Avaladze.
Great play from Gavin Ray. I think Kenny Clark's going to produce a yellow card. I think that's persistent fouling. He got away with the earlier one on Caballero, but not this time. But Gavin Ray, this is great determination, power, aggression. Not an awful lot in it, but Avaladze just catches him and no more. You see it there, the contact on him. Doesn't get the ball.
I would think Bertie Vogts has got to be impressed with this performance from Ray so far. He's on the fringe of the squad for next week, Sandy.
Well, he's a big, strong player, Rob. He's passionate about his game. He wants to play well. He gives it everything he's got. And in their national team at this moment in time, that's probably the first priority.
We'll
you have to really want to.
We'll take anything. So the reward for direct play from Gavin Ray, sprinting at the Rangers' defence, forcing them to commit into the challenge, and Avaladze booked, and a free kick given away. Caballero shot, hoping for one similar to his two efforts at Dens Park 4 weeks back, but this time Stefan Klos untroubled.
Yeah, it smells off target. He won't want to see that one again. Gets it all wrong. He scored 2 marvellous goals from long range against Rangers a few weeks back. But we keep saying you've got to get it on target to have any chance of scoring.
It's 93 years since Dundee won the Scottish Cup. Even Jim Duffy can't remember it. It was 1910 when they beat Clyde in a second replay. That was at Ibrox. Steve Lovell gets in behind Craig Moore. And the combination of Moore and Amoruso keep out Lovell, but at the expense of a corner.
Steve Lovell just doesn't give up. He'll chase lost causes all day.
Rangers deputy goalkeeper Alan McGregor continues to warm up underneath us, with still some concerns about Stefan Klos. Gavin Ray with the corner kick to Caballero. 45 minutes, just about up. Mark Burchill didn't get the layoff right for Mzadze, but he wins it against Newman. In goes Burchill. Amoruso got there as well. Took its last touch off Burchill and behind for a goal kick, and as the first half comes to a close, it's Dundee threatening again.
It's Caballero from the short corner, and Mzadze does well here. Nicks the ball off Craig Moore, and it's just a little bit behind Burchill when it comes in. He can't go and attack the ball. He can't get his foot round it to get it on target. Otherwise, it would have been a real opportunity.
So we've added 30 seconds so far. Another minute and a half to go. Ronald de Boer trying to turn things Rangers' way. Neil McCann on the end of his pass. De Boer again skips away from the Ray challenge. And that's 5-star defending from Zura Kisnishvili. And here he goes, trying to start an attack for Dundee. That's for Burchill. Back from Newman. Stefan Klos comes to get it. Outstanding play there from Kisnishvili, and it's a cliche, but that was turning defence into attack rather quickly.
He does that so well. Not content with just defending. As soon as he's got possession of the ball, he wants to try and build from the back. I'm sure he's trying to impress Art McLeish as well today.
Ferguson to Avaladze. Well, the pitch causing problems for him there. Otherwise, Rangers might have had something on.
That was a chance for Avaladze. Don't know what happened. He's just lost his footing completely on the way through.
Michael Moles breathing heavily, and both these teams putting a lot of effort into the first half, still waiting for the breakthrough. It's 0-0 at half-time. Barry Smith rattled the left-hand post of Stefan Klos early on. Michael Moles rattled Julian Speroni's crossbar with a header for Rangers. It's even Stevens, not much to choose between the two. Stefan Klos has a hamstring problem, which Rangers will look to sort during the half-time interval. But it's quite compelling between these two. Dundee obviously haven't read the script. They don't see it as a treble for Rangers. They see it as their first trophy in a long, long time. It's 0-0 at half-time.
It's a very entertaining first half, although a goalless one, and Dundee have certainly had their chances, as indeed have Rangers. Good cup final so far, Gordon, isn't it?
Joy, it's been good fun.
Yeah.
Like it. Dundee have made a right good game of it. Started very well. Rangers put them under pressure for a wee while without causing too many problems, and Dundee coming right back into it near the end there. I thought they've been excellent.
Yeah, and both sides have hit the woodwork so far, Billy, as well. In fact, there's been chances, nothing terribly clear-cut though.
We said there were two attacking teams. I think they've took the game to one another. As Gordon said, that for the middle spell, Rangers started getting top, but Dundee have bounced back again and started taking the game to them. Enthralling stuff.
So nothing really in it, I suppose, at the moment. No goals, and you wouldn't say that any one team has really dominated, apart from that one spell perhaps in the middle of the half.
Rangers for a spell, but without looking like scoring. But Dundee for the start and the finish of the first half have definitely had the best chances. So,
yeah. Gordon, what was your thoughts on that first 45?
I thought Dundee did very well. They started the game positively. They made sure Rangers didn't dominate them in the early part of the game, which they had to do. They didn't want to give Rangers any confidence at the very start of the game, and they did it well. And from doing that, from stopping Rangers playing, it gave them a platform then to go and create some openings themselves, and a good little spell. Rangers did come into a bit more, and Dundee weathered the storm. They sat back in a little bit when they were pushed back, and then late in the second half, first half, they started to come back out again.
Yeah.
But you know, it's one of these ones that it may depend on the first goal going in. But in the dressing room just now, Jim Duffy delighted with his players, I'm sure, saying to them, well done, that's the way to play, everything's going to plan. Alec McLeish's the opposite. I think he'll be having a go at his team just now. He'll be saying you've got to step it up, got to play at a faster pace, they've got to create a bit more, and they've got to get at Dundee a bit quicker when they've got the ball. Rangers haven't really played as well as they can so far, and I've got to give Dundee credit for that.
That's right, they've been breaking particularly well from midfield, and they have created chances, particularly early on. Let's just take a look at some of those. In fact, very early on, Barry Smith hit the post, didn't he, with a very good volley. I mean, he's only scored 2 goals in his entire career, Gordon, but this was very nearly a spectacular third.
Oh yeah, good technique. Must be happy with that. As he says, he's only scored 2 goals, and he'd be really delighted with that, because most Dundee fans would think this is going anywhere. But this is what the cup finals are. It's all about dreams. It's all about Dundee feeling like champions on the day, and the guy's taking his chance. He's been brave. Yeah, good.
Barry Smith is one of the great Dundee players of the last 7 or 8 years. He's been a terrific service to the servants of the club, more than 300 matches. But Dundee were impressive early on, Gordon, weren't they?
Yeah, they started well, and I mean, getting in those situations there, Stephen Kloss did really well. I wonder if this is what led to the injury. It looks like to me as if that was when he got injured. Been struggling a bit in that first half, and talk about maybe coming off, but definitely got hurt there. It was a good run. Lovell's been full of pace and power. I think Mark Butchell needs to get into the game a bit more, because Caballero and Lovell are causing Rangers all sorts of problems.
Yeah. Lovell's a fairly tough customer, Billy, isn't he? I mean, he really puts it about, doesn't he?
He really is not giving Rangers a moment's peace. My type of player, to be honest with you, right in about them. Shows remarkable skill and pace as well, and he's not giving them a minute, as I say, and he's got to slip into a good scoring chance here. Maybe just up a wee bit early waiting on it and put it over the bar, but he's certainly causing problems.
Yeah. You're impressed with the Dundee midfield? They are working hard and they are breaking quickly. Gavin Ray's been tremendous getting box to box, hasn't he?
They've done well, and they've got space, especially in the first 20 minutes. When Rangers were attacking, the front foot, the 2 strikers went, and the 2 wide men went up and played flat. And so when it broke down, there was 3 against 2 in the middle of the park, so Dundee could pick them off. I think later on, after 20 minutes, Alec went, well, I'm not having any of this anymore. And McCann stayed out wide, and Avalanche has come back in 20 yards, so maybe getting a wee bit more protection. That's when Rangers started to get better. But when they had that space, yeah, fine. And funny enough, when they seen half-time coming again, Dundee said, right, we can go for it again. But I think what Alec's done is dragged Avalanche back into the middle of the park there.
Yeah.
Because they were playing 4 up there, and there was no spaces at all. If you want to create space, somebody has to drop off somewhere, and somebody has to play deeper. But the 4 up against there, and when the ball did go wide to them, and because they were so high up the pitch, the Dundee fullbacks could get to them quickly. What they needed was a wee bit more depth to their player, Rangers. But after a wee while, Alex said, right, we've had enough of this. But maybe they tried to get them early and play wide, and get the ball out there. But 2 things: the use of the ball when it went wide wasn't great. Plus the fullbacks got it quite quickly. As you say, when Dundee got it, they were brave enough to play on a big stage. That was good.
Yeah, it was. And Bob Malcolm, understandably, in an unfamiliar position, Gordon, took a little while to settle and maybe hasn't yet quite settled into the role that Alec wants him to play.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually had to play in a midfield role. He's done it before, but I mean, he's done well to actually sit in there, and he's got himself into the games that's gone on. At first, he was like a little bit lost. I was surprised that Roland de Boer wasn't playing midfield. That was a big surprise to me that they went with the 4-4-2.
Do you think he'll drop him back in there, come back another 15 yards?
Yes, I think
because there's no room for Moles to make his wee runs, his nice wee runs.
Started doing that.
Yeah, just at the end, when de Boer just drops down a wee bit, as you said.
I wonder if he might do that in second half, might pull Roland de Boer back in beside Robert Malcolm and Ferguson, and like Averladze and Moles in his own and things.
And try and suck a central defender out there somewhere so Moles can get the balls down the side.
Well, these are the things that we're talking about in the Rangers dressing room. Mind you, they have had their chances as well, arguably the better chances, particularly in that middle section of the half. But just before we see those, let's hear from Lee Wilkie, who's talking to Chick.
Lee, so far so good for Dundee?
Yeah, we went through a little 15-minute spell where they put us in a bit of pressure, but we got through that well enough, and the last 10 minutes we came back into the game and everything's going fine so far.
You'll be proud the way your fellow defenders are doing their job?
Yeah, I mean, de Boer and Moles, great players, you know, and for Lemaire and Zura to be doing so well just now is brilliant, and I just hope they keep it up second half.
On a personal level, how are you feeling kicking every ball?
Yeah, kicking every ball, heading every ball. I mean, I'm enjoying it more than I actually thought I was going to be, so it's good so far.
But you know, from so many games against the Old Firm, 45 minutes is 45 minutes, a long way to go, anything can happen.
That's it. I mean, the boys know that they've got to concentrate for the full 90 minutes, and, you know, they can't have any sort of lapses in sort of concentration, so they know what they've got to do, and hopefully they do the job.
You do look in occasions, certainly early on, Barry Smith nearly scored. That'd have been history in itself, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't think Barry's ever hit a shot like that before, even in training, so I mean, they can show that it shows that the boys are full of confidence and that we're right up for the game.
Still confident?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, like you say, we've got, you know, potential match winners in Mzadzi and Caballero, and a lot of pace up front with Butts on level, so anything can happen.
Cheers, Lee, thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Lee Wilkie, who would have loved to have been involved, but let's take a look at these Rangers chances. Ronald de Boer heavily involved, and for the second week in a row, not the best a header when there was a real chance. Let's take a look at those, Gordon.
Yeah, it was a ball that was sprayed across to the other side, and you don't normally expect the Boer to do a little bit, but this is the one he laid off to Averladze though. It was a little headed back ball down there. Great vision from de Boer. That's what he does well. He sees other people, just knocks into his path. I thought Averladze should have done a lot better with that, I think. This is the one I think went wide, and Neil McCann delivering the ball to the back post, and Ronald de Boer peels away for the defender, exactly the right position, but that's a poor header from him. As you said, Dougie, last week he missed one, the very same early on in the game against Dunfermline. Went on to score a header right enough, and he might do that again today, but normally he does better than that.
Yeah, and he put his head in his hands. He knew that was a real opportunity, but Rangers really pressing in this middle stage of the half, Gordon. Too many Gordons here.
There's Gordons all over the place here. Sometimes they've not got the best height in the world, Dundee. If you deliver a ball like that, I mean, we practice corner kicks every Friday, and it's a waste of time. If you don't deliver them properly, you've got anybody, you need to be brave. You need to deliver it properly. You need brave bodies in there, and the delivery is fantastic, and there's a bit of bravery there as well. And there's nothing much you can do about that unless you've got big central defenders, and they're not the biggest back there, to be honest with you. Yeah. And talking about de Boer, it's hard to find him in the box because he never plays in front of the centre half. You know, wherever he's coming from behind you, where he can step in front of you or step away. If you get a good ball delivered, he's nearly got in there a couple of times.
Yeah, football intelligence again, Bill, as we were talking about earlier. I mean, he reads the game brilliantly, de Boer, doesn't he? Yeah,
he does. He'll be disappointed with that. He's got himself free, but we've all done it. It's all turtleneck one. Close your eyes at the last second. He's turned his head as well. The pace was on the ball. He could have probably met it, but he's took his head back to get right through it, and he just shut his eyes at the last moment. I've done it myself, Diggy.
Surely not. There is definitely concern over Stefan Klos, though. He's been an ever-present this season. He's been absolutely immense for Rangers, but he definitely has a hamstring injury, which he seemed to suffer in that clash with Steve Lovell early on. And Alan McGregor, who's a perennial Rangers benchman, I think he's sat on the bench for every match this season, and I don't remember him getting on at any stage. But he may well have a crucial part to play in the second half here. Alan McGregor, the Rangers reserve goalkeeper, out warming up on the pitch during this half-time interval. We talked before the match about the key players. We'd picked out Caballero and de Boer. We've talked a lot about de Boer, but we've got to mention Caballero because he's been very influential for Dundee, Gordon, hasn't he?
Yeah, once again, I mean, he's been the strength of the team. picking up the ball a lot of the times, coming off defenders. They find it very hard to mark him because he comes off, see that, the little space, and if you give him that amount of time, great drag back, lovely through ball. This could easily result in a goal. Good cover in the end, up in behind, but you know, it's just ability and strength he has, and those two aspects of his game make him such a good player to have in your team, because, as I say, he's creative and he comes off.
This is De Boer, lovely turn, and creates the chance for himself. And I think the tackle just come in there, Gordon.
Well, that was what I was saying. If he drops off even maybe another 5 yards, but you seen when he done his turn there, Mogs makes that run into that wee gap, just coming across you now. There he goes. And that's what they didn't have in the first 20 minutes. They were playing too flat up against them. But talking about, yeah, we're talking about him. But the guy, Caballero's been outstanding as far as I'm concerned. His actual intelligence and the balls that the players can give to him is fantastic. He knows when he can get to feet and when he can go over the top. And he looks like a dream to play with, he really does. And when the ball does go into him, he's brave. He'll take a kick. I like that in players. Go on, you need to kick me to get the ball back. Rather than that wee flimsy touch away and it nearly got there. And I was nearly making a good pass. He takes the ball in and you have to kick him. And that's good.
Man of the match, well, there are a few contenders. You've just seen a few of them, but let's remind you that TV watching kit. You can watch all of next season's games here on the BBC. You've got the widescreen TV, the Lazy Boy, and the Cup season tickets to follow your team's fortunes in next season's competition. 0900 10 200 20 10 225. That's a number to dial to see whether you agree with Sandy Clark about the man of the match. Towards the end of the half, Billy, to be fair, Dundee did have to defend, and they defended well. Dave Mackay had a good blocking tackle, and Honey Hernandez had a great defensive header, didn't he?
I don't think it's Dundee's strength to sit back as a team. I think Jim Duffy wants them to go out and attack, but against teams like Rangers, you're going to have spells where you're on the back foot, and that's what happened for the middle spell of the game. Rangers started getting forward, pinning them back, but as Gordon said, I think it was, they've handled that, they've got through that spell, and they've come out at the end of the half finishing stronger again. It's all set up now, 45 to go, they're still in the game, and anything can happen, Dougie.
I think Dundee in the main have defended pretty well, Dougie, even though they were forced back a bit. I think the players they've got at the back, have done a good job. This was Neil McCann got a couple of breaks with that run, really, and he delivered the ball in the box. But this is great defending at the back post.
I think if you look at it again, Gordon, when they're doing that left wing position, they've always got somebody past the centre half where to head the ball. So the left back for Dundee's got to do some heading, has to protect them well, because most of the balls are getting hit to the back post, where they're bypassing the centre halves. And the left back has to do some good covering there. He's covered him well,
He gets a finish.
He's done well. He's had the same problem with De Boer going on. Sometimes he sees one in front of him, one behind him, and he's done quite well, because the two centre backs, well, there's nobody here, but they can't go too far back or the ball gets played at the middle. They've got a problem. So he's defended rather well.
Would you be a little bit disappointed in Neil McCann's service so far? I mean, he's had plenty of the ball. He's not quite managed to get the crosses in he did last Sunday.
As I said before the game, Neil's a boy who plays with confidence, and it's obviously he's not been playing regular in the team. But I think he's a mixed bag today. I think he's you see there that he's playing a lot of good balls, but there's been a lot of poor balls. And it's up to, I think it was Sandy Clark that said, he'll no hide, he'll keep taking the ball.
Absolutely.
He'll give you even if it's 50%, one of that 50% might be the one that gets you the goal.
That's right, he'll certainly still look for it. We hear, by the way, there is a Rangers substitution. It's not Stefan Klos, so it's Michael Moles who's coming off and Maurice Ross coming on. So is that to be Michael Moles' last 45 minutes in a Rangers jersey? What do you make of that substitution, Gordon?
It's a strange one, but I thought that might happen before the game. I felt Ross would play at right back and that Rickson would come into midfield. So I thought Fernando Rickson, I think Fernando Rickson's best spell this season was when he was playing midfield. So I think that's what will happen. I think Rickson will play now in there, and Ronald de Boer, they'll go with the front three, about 4-3-3 now, with Ronald de Boer on his own as the central one maybe, and Avaladze and McCann up beside him. So I think it'll be back to the 4-3-3.
And that presumably means that Caballero will get less time on the ball. If Rickson's in midfield, he'll be looking for Caballero's breaks, I would think.
I don't think Rickson will be thinking about playing in front of Caballero and getting the ball. I think Rangers now think, let's win the game. I don't think he's in there to say, right, here we go. I think what he's probably saying, right, this flat four up front's not work. I might get Rickson there, tuck in there, and play the same as them, and the best players win now. I think that's what it's all about now. The best players have got, it looks like maybe, as Gordon Bob knows it better than me. They might just go 4-3-3 now, yeah. And now what they're saying is the best players won the day.
That's right. The only other thing they could do, Gordon, would be to say keep the same system and put Avaladze in beside De Boer and play Rickson in the wide
Rickson will tuck in about 25 yards in there.
It's matching the 3 and 3 in midfield.
He'll tuck in
Dundee
there.
extra man first half.
He might tuck in there, and Avaladze goes closer to De Boer.
Yeah.
All right. Might get that.
There you are. That's what we think will happen. Let's find out whether it does happen. This cup final is there to be won. No goals, but plenty of entertainment so far. Let's look forward to another 45 minutes of it. Back to Robin Sandel.
Thanks, Dougie. Morris Ross has recently found it easier to get a game for Scotland than for Rangers. Won his 9th cap against New Zealand on Tuesday night, and now replaces Michael Moles in the Rangers lineup in the second half. There's Dundee unchanged with Burchill and Lovell and Caballero up front, and of course Lee Wilkie, you've heard from him a couple of times, suspended. And the reshaped Rangers side, well, those are the players. We'll tell you about the shape shortly, but Morris Ross is on, and Michael Moles, as Dougie said, might just have played his last game for Rangers. We're in the longest spell of Old Firm domination in Scottish football history. The last time Celtic or Rangers didn't win one of the big prizes was the Scottish Cup final of 1998. Dundee want to do something about that, and they've certainly laid the foundations with an impressive first half showing. But can they maintain that level against Rangers on the trail of the treble? Gavin Ray had a very good first half for Dundee, obviously heard me, and immediately gave it away.
I think Caballero was looking for the ball into feet there. I'm just looking at the start of the game. I think Gordon from the studio was right there. Ricks is now playing middle of the park. Bob Markle will still do the holding role.
There's Zadza. An inch perfect pass to Caballero. Good ball in from Fabian Caballero. Steve Lovell's header down. Mark Burchill couldn't make up the ground to get on the end of it.
It's a good break from Dundee. Good ball from Caballero. I think Lovell picks the right option this time. Doesn't try to score, tries to find Burchill inside the box.
Ferguson to Newman. De Boer. De Boer and Ferguson with 38 goals between them this season. They've been a standout pair for the champions. Lovely skill from De Boer. Nutmegged Mackay. Back comes Nemzadze. Dave Mackay's header away. Barry Ferguson picks it up. Ferguson loops round De Boer. Dangerous ball in. All that was missing was the smoking cigar from Kizanishvili. How cool was that?
It was very, very cool. He got away with it. I'm not too sure how John Duffy will feel about that one. That's a big chance to take inside your box. Great if you get away with it.
We hear from the touchline Jim Duffy is having a pacemaker fitted after that from Kizanishvili. That takes years off a manager. What's Ali McLeish been saying early in the second half, Chick?
Well, poor old Bob Malcolm still getting it in the neck, actually. He's been told to get further forward. They feel he's far too deep. Dan Wouters has spotted it up and said, like, he's got to get forward, and he's because he's been out the dugout onto the technical area, just telling him to move, get forward, and get himself involved in the game.
Bob Malcolm would be well advised to play on the other side of the pitch where he can't hear Ali McLeish. Well, probably he still could over there, to be fair.
I think the system of the Rangers are playing now, he can't go too far forward. Fernando Rickson looks as if he's playing almost wide right of four in the middle of the park, and De Boer's playing through the middle beside Avaladze. So it's almost the same system as the first half. I'm pretty certain De Boer will drop off a little bit more than they did first 45.
Jim Duffy's on the touchline. I don't think it's just to get a suntan. He's making himself heard. Nemzadze, Hernandez. Dundee have a free kick. And it's taken quickly to Caballero. Lovell and Burchill waiting in the middle. Still Fabian Caballero. Rangers just can't shake him off the ball. Good touch from Hernandez. The cross, though, evades all three strikers.
It was a decent ball in from Hernandez. Lots of pace on it, just nobody attacking the ball.
Goalkeeper news from Chick.
Yeah, growing concern about Stephen Kloss, the Rangers bench. I've sent young Alan McGregor out for another further warm-up. He's doing that in the touchline at the moment. This indicates that they really are worried about Kloss and this hamstring injury. It may be a change, Rob, before much longer.
Here's De Boer. Gets himself turned. Arveladze. Now McCann. That's good work again from Dave Mackay. Gives away a corner kick, but he's not really allowing Neil McCann to get beyond him.
He's played well, Dave McCann. He stopped Neil McCann playing for big parts of this match. Not easy to do with McCann's pace.
McCann's cross. Another good take from Julian Speroni. His handling has been superb so far.
He's so confident, Speroni. Again, keeps his eye on the ball. It's a good ball for McCann. Gets a yard of space, whips it round. It's coming right away from the goalkeeper. But again, keeps his eye on the ball so well.
And as we look ahead, of course, to next Saturday, Neil McCann is another name which might well be drafted into the Scotland squad to face Germany. He's on the standby list at the moment. One more massive game before the Scottish football season is finished. That international here next Saturday. And of course, television highlights on BBC Scotland next Saturday night. Let's hope there are some highlights. De Boer's flick. Arveladze there, but good challenge from Lee Mayer.
The pace of the game certainly dropped a little bit at the start of the second half, which is not a surprise considering the conditions. It's very, very humid out there.
Long ball from Barry Smith, and that's well judged by Arthur Newman. Got there before Birchall.
Great play from the Dutch fullback.
And you've got to be quick to match Mark Birchall.
He was off his mark early, read the situation very well, made it look easy.
De Boer again the target. Kuznisvili did enough for Dundee. Mzadzi, Birchall, and back again. Overrun it, Mzadzi, but still has it. Won by Ross in the challenge, but back with Dundee. Ray to Hernandez. Another good challenge from Maurice Ross.
Very aggressive, Maurice Ross.
And Hernandez cross is a disappointment for Dundee. It's played in too long, beyond everyone.
You would think with Dundee playing with three forwards, there should be someone in there attacking any ball that comes into the box. Mzadis took a little knock. It was a challenge from Maurice Ross a few minutes ago.
He's a crucial player for Dundee, Mzadzi, with all the ability to make things happen in that midfield area. Richly talented, the semi-final match winner. And Jim Duffy takes the opportunity to whisper sweet nothings in the ear of Lee Mayer. 2 goals this season from Mzadzi against Partick Thistle and Inverness Cali Thistle, both in this Tennant Scottish Cup. That's how he was hurt. Firstly the challenge from Rickson, then Maurice Ross. Mzadzi getting some treatment. Let's hear from Chick.
Yeah, it's getting interesting down here at the Rangers dugout because Alex McLeish just pointed to Stevie Thompson and said, get a warm-up. Immediately he's done that. He's down in front of the dugout there. He's having a few stretches, getting ready to come on. Now remember, if Rangers throw him on, they're ready to use a substitute, and they've got this danger over Kloss, which would leave them only one last change. Alan McGregor's still out warming up as well, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next few minutes. The Rangers switches.
Might just be press the gamble button for Alec McLeish, with Alan McGregor and Stephen Thompson both continuing their warm-ups. Stephen Thompson, of course, who had such an impact in the semi-final against Motherwell when he came on as a half-time change. Set up Michael Moles for the equaliser, and from then on Rangers were heading for the return trip to Hampden, and this glittering occasion that ends the club season. Avalanche couldn't keep it, complaining to Kenny Clark, but Gavin Ray plays it downfield for Steve Lovell. Good play from Lovell, asking serious questions of the Rangers defence, and Craig Moore getting very slowly back to his feet.
That was great defending from Craig Moore as well. Lovell put him under a lot of pressure. Had to time the tackle to perfection.
Early ball in from McCann, hooked away by Mayer. That's Malcolm. Dave Mackay, one touch to control it, the other to hammer it clear. The word from downstairs is that Stephen Thompson is about to come on. Rangers want to win it. Free kick given against Zurikizhnishvili as Thompson prepares for action.
I'm interested, Rob, to see who comes off. It's going to be one of the front players.
Avalanche to come off, we understand. The Ross cross. Mayer climbing high for the header. Burchill wasn't too bothered where that went as long as it went, and it did. So it's going to be Thompson for Avalanche, unless there's a late change of heart, has been known.
I'm sure Chick will get it right.
Chick says it's a certainty, that always worries me. Amoruso to De Boer. Brilliant control in tight situations, Ronald De Boer. You can give him the ball at any pace, any height, and it's killed in an instant. Avalanche with that look on the face which tells you he's about to be subbed. Avalanche off. Stephen Thompson on. He's started only one game since moving from Dundee United, but he has been known to have an impact as a sub. He crossed for Ronald De Boer at Somerset Park against Ayr in the 4th round, and he had a big say in the semi-final against Motherwell as well. Can Thompson produce again off the bench for Rangers?
Well, there's a different type of player, Rob. Big target man type, good in the air, very aggressive. So it's a different type of player that Dundee have to defend against now.
I've been impressed with Lee Mayer, Sandy. Very quiet sort of style in central defence for Dundee, but he's done everything that's been asked of him so far.
Mayer and Kisnesvili do so well defending when the ball's played in short to strike his feet, but now they're going to have a different type of player. He's going to come in high at times, and Thompson's very aggressive in there.
And that's a poor ball in from Amoruso. It's beyond Ronald De Boer, who's screaming at Amoruso, saying play it into feet. Hernandez under pressure from Rickson. And Mzadze. Tony Hernandez again. And that's a Rangers throw. Rickson to Malcolm. Neil McCann. Gavin Ray tried to get to him. That's good use of the ball from McCann. Rickson's cross, and played in too close to the keeper. That was always going to be Julian Speroni's. And now Steve Lovell gets the better of Amoruso and Malcolm. If he can play in Caballero, Dundee have a real chance. Craig Moore stood firm and kept out Caballero, but that goes down as a real chance gone for Dundee.
What an opportunity. Caballero didn't want to hit the ball with his left foot. It's as simple as that. Great play from Lovell. An opportunity. If he took it across his body, he would have had a chance of a good shot with his left foot.
Dundee had the players forward, and they do again. Burchill, Caballero. Burchill took a tumble and has a free kick.
Yellow card.
Yellow card for Craig Moore.
Yep.
He took out Burchill as he tried to get on the end of the return pass from Caballero.
He was going so fast, Mark Burchill. Just watch the little 1-2 here. Craig Moore obstructs him as much as anything else. Lots of white jerseys round about there, but Moore didn't take the chance. That's why he's now got a yellow card.
So 2 yellow cards for Rangers, but Avalanche is off. Moore joins him in the book. And you would put some money on Nemzadze, fancying himself for a strike here.
Caballero this time's well out the road after his hit in the first half.
And it was Hernandez who tried to surprise Stefan Klos with the left foot effort, but this was a big letdown for him.
Yeah, it's a waste to say the least. He's leaning back. There's no way he's going to get up over the wall and down again with his approach to the ball. Great left foot, Hernandez, but didn't show it that time. This was the other one yet. Sorry, Rob. Lovell does so well, so direct. He's very, very quick. This is a good ball. Caballero just takes it across his body onto his left foot. He's got to have a shooting opportunity. He turns back onto his stronger foot, but into lots of bodies. Good defending.
Rickson tripped. Rangers free kick. An hour gone at Hampden. Dundee 0, Rangers 0. Delicately balanced. In from Ferguson. Great leap from Stephen Thompson. Tried to knock it down for Ronald de Boer. And that underlines the threat he poses.
That's the strength of Stephen Thompson. Ronald de Boer was so unlucky. He made the run late to try to get across the front of the defender. Just a second too late.
Poor ball from Ross. Gavin Ray was fouled by Arthur Newman.
Play on. No free kick.
No, play goes on. Poor cross from Neil McCann. Now with Ray to Burchell. Miraculously, how did he do that?
I bet he can't do that again.
Nemzadze powering through. Taken out by Newman. That's what you call a professional foul.
Great play again from Nemzadze. Not too happy with Craig Moore, is he? I don't think Craig Moore can have too much of an argument there. Nemzadze driving forward with lots of pace. Very committed. You can see after Newman catches him there, takes him out of the game. Easy one for the referee to give. It's an intriguing match, so whoever gets the first goal up and get a first goal in the 90 minutes are going to be in a great position to go on to win this match.
Look at the fouls count against Rangers, double those conceded by Dundee. Georgi Nemzadze over the ball. Fabian Caballero alongside. Caballero trying to waltz his way through. Gavin Ray's cross. Mark Burchell was there. Tony Hernandez was there as well, and it's a corner kick.
Still a variation from the free kick. There's so many been knocked over the crossbar. Caballero, not too sure what he's doing there, but this is a good ball in. Again, it's hard to defend. The goalkeeper can't come for it.
And it was Maurice Ross who got the final touch. Gavin Ray's corner, headed away by Amoruso. Nemzadze. And Ray again. Craig Moore heads it clear. Dave Mackay is there, ahead of Thompson. Desperation about the way Rangers got that clear. Maurice Ross, Michael Wall's half-time replacement. Ronald de Boer to Barry Ferguson. We'll have an operation after this to try to clear up the long-running pelvic trouble which has plagued him. A McCann against Mackay. Ferguson. Rickson. Kisnishvili's header away. Good awareness from Ferguson. Malcolm's cross. And a chance for Neil McCann.
Bit of space inside the box for Neil McCann there. He does well. There's a good ball in from Bob Malcolm. McCann gets off his man, gets here first, tries to guide it in the top corner. It's not a million miles away.
Rangers would have preferred if it had been Thompson or De Boer on the end of the cross from Malcolm. 0910-225 for man of the match. Saturday will decide near the end of this. Arthur Newman looks to be suffering from a bit of cramp by the looks of it.
It's a free kick.
Given against Kisnishvili.
Good determination from Stevie Thompson. Gets there first and Kisnishvili's a shoulder knocking into Thompson.
And he's worried at the moment, Kisnishvili, that this might be a costly concession because Rangers are piling the bodies into the box.
Every Dundee player inside the 18-yard box.
McCann's left foot. Lorenzo Amoruso scores! 20 minutes gone in the second half. And is that the parting present from Amoruso? It's 1-0 Rangers.
It's a brilliant free kick from Neil McCann. Similar to the one in the first half. Lots of pace on the ball. It's so difficult to defend against, and Amoruso, give him credit. He flies at the ball, he attacks it so well. He just has to get any type of touch on it, it's going to end up the back of the net. And that's exactly what happened.
Well, I did wonder if it was going to be a costly concession of a free kick. It has proved to be every bit. And Alec McLeish sprinting down the steps to greet the opening goal. And now Rangers will look to move towards clinching the treble. Let's hear from Chick.
Yeah, there's going to be changes down here, Rob. I think they've decided that Kloss will see out the 90 minutes or extra time if need be. It's going to be Arthur Newman who's coming off. Coming on will be Muscat. That'll be the change. Newman suffering from cramp. That'll be the end of his Rangers career. And also, I think Jim Duffy thinking of a change. Nacho Novo will be introduced into proceedings as they try to snatch an equaliser. So it's all happening down here, Rob.
Rangers ahead. Can Dundee respond? At the moment, they're having to defend. Maurice Ross wins a corner.
Good positive play from Maurice Ross down the right-hand side. He does that so well. Kisnishvili giving away the corner kick.
Rangers want to seal the win now, having got the opening goal. As Kisnishvili reflects on that free kick he gave away, which led to the Rangers' goal. In from Neil McCann, another good delivery. Rickson. Played away by Mackay. But Dundee still hemmed in. Neil McCann in for Stephen Thompson. Craig Moore. Roland De Boer couldn't make it stick. George Mzadze losing possession. McCann's shot. Camley played away by Kisnishvili to Mackay. Kevin Muscat is about to replace Arthur Newman, who's struggling with cramp, as the Rangers fans look forward to a treble party.
They're certainly enjoying themselves in this moment in time. Arthur Newman was under pressure there. I wouldn't have thought it'd be crap, but it looks like it. I would imagine he's taking a knock of some kind as well.
It's farewell to Ibrox for Arthur Newman. 5 years with the club. He's served with distinction. That wasn't kept in by Caballero. Well, Dundee showed so much character, didn't they, 4 weeks ago when they went behind to the early goal against Rangers, and they have to respond again now here after Amoruso's header, which in the end flicked in off Georgi Nemzadze, but it was heading in any case, and well, it could be a fairy tale ending to Lorenzo Amoruso's Rangers career if that is to be the only goal of the game. Great work from Maurice Ross, gets to the byline. Neil McCann appealing for a handball against Gavin Ray. Kenny Clark not too impressed. Nacho Novo will replace Mark Burchill, we hear.
It's now a test of character for Dundee, Rob. Their heads will be down in this moment in time. They've got to get their heads up, they've got to keep plugging away in the hope they can get back in the match. But you can see Rangers already. You can see the confidence round about the team. They seem to be passing the ball much quicker, much better, much crisper since the goal. What a difference a goal makes.
Business really comes out on top against Ronald de Boer. And they will be playing together next season, maybe. Nacho Novo to come on for Dundee. Mark Burchill off. Nacho Novo has scored 9 times for Dundee already this season. He's very quick. And he might just present Rangers with a new problem.
He's very tricky, different type of player from Mark Burchill. Still quick, but very good on the ball. Again, running at defenders.
Muscat back to Kloss.
That'll test his injury.
I'll not be too grateful for that from Kevin Muscat. Ritson played up for de Boer. Well won, Kiznesvili. Strong play from Gavin Ray, got away from Bob Malcolm and caught in 2 minds there. Thought about having a shot, thought about trying to play in one of the strikers, and in the end it was somewhere in between. Rangers have a problem with Neil McCann, Chip.
Yeah, they have. David Henderson, the Rangers physio, there he is, out giving a little bit of treatment. It's a thigh problem he's had. He indicated a couple of minutes ago to the bench that the problem. Now remember, Rangers have used all the substitutes. They're still worried about Stephen Kloss. This might not be over yet. A little twist of the tail, perhaps. Treatment there for Neil McCann.
We've played nearly 72 minutes of the 2003 Tennent Scottish Cup final. 1 goal in it. And it's the man who supplied the free kick for Lorenzo Amoruso's header, who is currently getting treated on the touchline, temporarily down to 10 men, Rangers.
I'm sure McCann will be back on Rob. He's got to continue in the match. I'm watching Jim Duffy as well at this moment. He's trying to get his more and more players forward. They have to take 1 or 2 more chances now, have a real goal, throw bodies at the Rangers defenders, try and get back in the match.
Muscat, Malcolm. Now Thompson. Good holding up work, good use of the ball. Neil McCann with his legs strapped up. Still looks pretty sprightly. That's out off Muscat. Jim Duffy has just introduced Nacho Novo. He's now thinking about Stephen Milne, the other goal scorer he has on the bench. And cup finals don't come along very often for Dundee, so he'll want to feel off the back of this that he's given it every chance of success.
Well, he's got a good squad of players. Milne's played well for him this season, scored a few goals. And the one thing about it is you need to get a goal.
Good use of the ball from Barry Ferguson. Nacho Novo trying to win it back for Dundee. Muscat to De Boer.
Just watching Neil McCann, Rob, is really struggling.
Fernando Rickson. Shot on target, but not a great problem for Julian Speroni.
It looked as if it dipped right at the end. Rickson hits it well. Just a little dip towards, just in front of the goalkeeper, but Speroni again shows good quality.
7-iron bit of backspin. Caballero. Mzadze holds off Rickson. Tony Hernandez has a bit of room in which to operate. His cross, Novo! What an opportunity for Nacho Novo.
The referee's actually given a corner kick here. The linesman is given a goal kick, but what an opportunity. I'm not sure if Amoruso just gets a touch to this or not, but what a chance for Nacho Novo as a corner kick off Muscat.
Good decision by Kenny Clark, well spotted, but neither Amoruso nor Novo were expecting that to get through to the Dundee striker. In from Novo, Caballero's flick. Bob Malcolm heads it out. Inside the last quarter of an hour of regulation time at Hampden. Dundee looking to square the game. Steve Lovell. Zurakiznisvili tugged his shot wide.
Doesn't get on target, that's the problem. What the effort from Kisnisvili.
What's Jim Duffy saying at the moment to his players, Chick?
Well, he's telling the team to get forward, push the game. Mackay's the guy who'll be coming off when Milne comes on, so he's really going to go for it. He's shouting at these players to go forward, press the game, put the pressure across and get the shots in. They've done that over the last couple of minutes, but he's telling them to take the whole game to Rangers, which obviously, Rob, with 76 minutes gone, is what they've got to do. We'll see if they respond.
1-0 Rangers. Lorenzo Amoruso with the goal. His 6th goal of the season, and will it be the one that wins Rangers the treble?
I think he's got a problem as well, Rob. Neil McCann, as we say, he looks as if he can hardly run now. He's playing as a striker through the middle. Stephen Thompson's having to play left-hand side.
Caballero leaves it back to Mzadze. Too much pace on the pass from Barry Smith for Nacho Novo. Oh, 0900 10 225. Just about your last chance to take part in the man of the match competition as Stephen Milne waits to replace Dave Mackay. Kevin Muscat. Stephen Thompson. Free kick given against Dave Mackay for tugging at the shirt of Thompson. And that's Dave Mackay's last involvement. He's off, and it's sacrifice of defender time to get another striker on the pitch. Stephen Milne has scored 6 goals already this season for Dundee, and well, a career record of 17 and 40 starts, which is pretty decent.
He scored a few goals, as you said there, Rob. I think Lovell will play through the middle of the side, Caballero, and Milne will play down the left-hand side, and Novo down the right. Jim Duffy's going to go for it.
The first pass releases Rickson. Punching challenge from Kisnisvili wins it back for Dundee. Steve Lovell, Gavin Ray. Give it away, Ray. Now Neil McCann. Has he got some running left in the legs? A tame shot, but it's taking Neil McCann all this time to keep going.
He's doing well. I'll take a lot of character now from Neil McCann. He's only got 11 minutes or so to go. I'm sure Alan McLeish will be encouraging them.
And any prospect Neil McCann had of being called up for Scotland-Germany looks to be fading fast with that injury. Gavin Ray tries to find a way through the Rangers defence. Now Steve Lovell. That's a waste, and he knows it.
Yep. It's a pure effort level. Not much chance of being close from there, especially when you don't get on target. $47,136 inside Hampden for this 118th Scottish Cup final. And Jim Duffy is staring at defeat the way things stand. Can his team have produced so many fine performances in the second half of the season, come up with another late rally to take this match further? Novo's pass deflected away from Caballero. Stephen Thompson survives the challenge of Ray, and I don't think that's what Neil McCann wanted from Thompson. He rolled the ball into the corner, but Neil McCann is really struggling. I think Neil McCann, that's a great pass. To Stephen Thompson, that's really a crazy pass from the big striker. He's got to realise McCann can't run. He's given away possession. Lots of tired players out there now, Rod. They've all worked so hard, and remember as well, it's been a long season for both teams.
We're inside the last 10 minutes. Nacho Novo away from Thompson. Gavin Ray. Nacho Novo again. Deflected off Amoruso, and it spoons up into the arms of Stefan Klos. A real chance here for Nacho Novo to carve out an equaliser.
It's great play initially from Novo, but he's got to pick a player here. He tries to be fair to find Caballero. Amoruso will give him credit for defending well. He's been a hero for Rangers today. He scored the goal. This could be the winner. He's also defended very well. Not for the first time.
Caballero loses it at the edge of the area. Taken away by Muscat. Launched over the top by Ferguson. McCann in pursuit. Speroni fires it down towards Caballero. Good header from Maurice Ross. Very aggressive there, the way he attacked the ball. Bert Ferguson. And Muscat. A tired pass there, but Kevin Muscat doesn't really have the excuse because he is a second half substitute.
No, just a bad pass. I don't think it's been Rangers' best performance of the season, Rob, but they have been solid. They've worked hard. Their attitude's been good, as you would expect if you're the result today wins in the treble.
And players on the pitch for Rangers who wouldn't have expected to have been here had the team been at full strength, the likes of Ross and Malcolm and Muscat. Stephen Thompson as well. But Rangers now just really need to tough it out if they can. They've got the goal, they've got the lead, and time is ticking away from Dundee. Another goal seals it for Rangers. Ronald de Burgo's looking. But his strike partner Neil McCann is not his most mobile for obvious reasons.
The last few minutes Rangers have given away possession unnecessarily.
Steve Lovell chasing everything, and that was reckless from Lovell, giving it his all, but he careered into Kevin Muscat there.
It's a late challenge. Muscat plays the ball away. Lovell's never going to get there. You've got to time your tackle properly. You can be aggressive, but you've got to, it's a thin line between being aggressive and being dangerous, and that one looked a little bit dangerous.
We're in the 84th minute. Dundee 0, Rangers 1. Lorenzo Amoruso's header. And let's stress again that Rangers have committed all 3 substitutes. So the 11 on the pitch will finish the game. And offside against Neil McCann, and Dundee are about to make their final switch, which will see Gary Brady on the pitch in place of Gavin Ray. Midfielder for midfielder, and fresh legs for the final 5 or 6 minutes.
That's all Jim Duffy's thinking about now. Brady passes the ball very well. Dundee are playing with 4 forwards, but to give them an opportunity to get a goal, you have to get a supply to them. And Brady is a good creative player. Sees a pass, and I'm sure he'll try and play it.
Amoruso clears under pressure from Milne. And pressure is what Dundee want to apply in these closing stages as they look to force this cup final into extra time. Milne's header kept in by Nacho Novo, and the shot saved by Stefan Klos from Stephen Milne. Didn't really catch the shot.
Doesn't get enough on it. Good play from Nacho Novo, didn't give the ball up. Good awareness, picks out Millen, and he's snatching at it. He's under pressure, can't get enough purchase on the ball to put it into the corner. I bet it's an easy one for Stefan Klos.
It could have been a moment of glory for Stephen Milne. Hernandez with the cross, and there was pushing going on in the penalty box, says Kenny Clark, and the free kick is given against Nacho Novo.
Nacho Novo, he's in between Amoruso and Muscat there, giving away quite a height advantage and weight advantage. Yep, that's a descent.
Bit of back chat, too much back chat there. Earns Novo a yellow card.
That's frustration as much as anything else. But I'm sure Alan McLeish now is looking for guys like Amoruso, Craig Moore, Ferguson, De Boer, the experienced players in his team, to make sure they see this match out.
Celtic have won the Scottish Cup 31 times. If Rangers can hold out here, they will join Celtic on that mark. Lever back to Julian Speroni, and quickly out to Juani Hernandez. We're in the 87th minute, and Jim Duffy is indicating to his players, get down the pitch, push forward, get the ball into the box. That's too much for some people. Here goes Mayer. Amoruso heads it clear. Neil McCann did well. Stephen Thompson. Barry Smith sees it out of play for the throw. Fouled by Novo. That was a little bit too obvious against Muscat.
That's a silly one from Nacho Novo. Looking at Lorenzo Amoruso, he just booted the ball away there, Rob, as well, trying to kill a bit of time.
Only 6 times before have Rangers won the treble. They're heading at the moment for a magnificent 7.
Mike, are we doing the man of the match? We'll wait for them.
That's a free kick. Close to the corner flag. And fritters away some time for Rangers as well. 4 minutes to be added at the moment. It's, the figure's gradually been growing in recent time. And we're now in the 90th minute of the Tennant Scottish Cup final. Rangers clinging on to a 1-0 lead. That was out from Stephen Thompson. Jordi Manu. Well, the board has now gone up, which says 4 added minutes. And Sandy, that's the man of the match, I believe.
Yes, it was a difficult one today, Rob, to pick a man of the match. The teams have been so tight, but that man on the ball now, Lorenzo Amoruso, he's scored a vital goal. He's defended very well, so he's my Tennant's Scottish Cup man of the match.
And what is expected to be his final match for Rangers. So this is a highly emotional occasion for him. And it's he, at the moment, who struck the only goal of this cup final.
I'm watching Jim Duffy. Robbie can't do much more than he's doing. He's trying to throw bodies forward. There's Neil McCann giving away a free kick.
Yellow card for McCann as well.
McCann's, it's a tired challenge. It's a late challenge as well from Neil McCann. He won't be too happy when he sees that one.
And Jim Duffy is telling Julian Speroni to take the free kick so that everyone else can head for the area.
It's the right thing to do, Rob. They've got to get a goal if they're going to have any chance of winning this cup. To get everybody forward, put the ball in the box and put it in the mixer, as they say, and see what happens.
In the second minute of stoppage time at Hampden. In from Speroni. No great challenge on Craig Moore as he headed the ball clear. Barry Ferguson heads the ball out. Barry Smith in a hurry to get the ball back in play.
Going to get a long throw from Hernandez.
Hernandez throw, Amoruso climbing high for the header, but it's a goal kick.
Barry Smith trying to win the header inside the box. Lots of pressure on him here. Good defender from Rangers. But it's Smith that gets a touch there. That's why it's a goal kick and not a corner kick.
2 minutes added, 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes between Rangers and the treble.
I was saying earlier, Rob, about Jim Duffy, there's not much more he can do. He got his tactics absolutely spot on right from the start of the match. His team has worked really hard for him. When it comes to the bit, it's all about scoring goals, and Amoruso's been the difference.
The Borough wins a free kick. It's clever play, it's experienced play. He just held up the ball, waited for Lee Mayer to come crashing in behind him, and he knew the outcome was going to be a free kick.
The winner of this one will go back towards the corner flag. Rangers still get the big guys at the back.
What Dundee have won here this afternoon is increased respect for the way they play, that's for sure. Even if they lose the game.
I'm sorry, Rob, but don't tell Jim Duffy that. He'll want to win the cup. Oh.
That's out from Muscat. And it's just about last chance saloon for Dundee.
Kenny Clark's giving the throw another way. He's changed his mind.
Has he not given it because Nacho Novo took it in the wrong place?
I think that's what it's got to be that, Rob. Obviously tried to take it early, but from the wrong place.
Jim Duffy was less than impressed, suffice to say. The 4 minutes of added time are nearly up. Neil McCann trying to get away from Lee Mayer. He was having his shirt pulled, but the first foul, says Kenny Clark, was committed by McCann. Dundee's free kick. Full time at Hampden. Rangers have won the treble. Alec McLeish joins an illustrious list of names. Bill Struth, Scott Simon, Jock Willis, Walter Smith, Dick Advocat, and now Alec McLeish, treble winners with Rangers. Lorenzo Amoruso was the match winner. Heading home, Neil McCann's free kick with 66 minutes gone. And it looks very much as if that will be the parting gift from the tearful Amoruso. It seems that he will leave Rangers in the summer. And what a way to go. The match winner in the cup final, which clinches the treble. First it was the CIS Cup, then the Bank of Scotland Premier League, and finally the Tennent's Scottish Cup. And Amoruso can't stop the flow of tears. And tears of a different sort for Jim Duffy and his team, who gave so much to this game and who might well have taken the lead early on when Barry Smith struck the post. No inferiority complex for Zurich Iznishvili and his Dundee teammates. And in the end, it was a very narrow victory for Rangers. And there's another man, Iznishvili, who will be linking up. We would expect with Rangers next season, the clever money is that he leaves Dundee for Ibrox. But right at this moment, the Rangers supporters have only one thought in mind, and that is party time to celebrate an historic treble. The club has only done it 6 times before. Only 5 managers have that claim to fame. And Rangers here had to tough it out. But the emotion is pouring out of Amoruso, and if there was any doubt about whether he's leaving the club in the close season, I think his face tells all. What a season for Rangers. What a first full season in charge for Alec McLeish. He has won every tournament he's gone into with any chance of success. The league was gone when he replaced Dick Advocat. Since then, Alec McLeish has piloted Rangers to victory in every other tournament. It's a magnificent record, and Rangers seal their 31st Scottish Cup victory. A handshake for Lorenzo Amoruso, but nothing will stop those tears. Let's hear from Alec McLeish.
Alec, congratulations. It's been some end of season for you. All the emotion, how do you feel?
Drained, pretty drained. As drained as the players. I knew that we had to hold on because I couldn't have seen a way out for us in extra time. The players were out on their feet. They showed the physical energy that was sapped last week, and the mental energy that goes with that took a lot out of them. But credit Dundee, they had to go today and they were very dangerous.
You clearly took a gamble with Stephen Claus at half-time in a hamstring injury.
Yeah, Stephen, he declared himself okay, so that was important.
Did he push you all the way? Did a good performance?
They did, and I dreaded them getting a goal just before full-time because it would have been difficult to see Rangers soldiering through it. But you never know with this team right enough.
There's a lot of farewells getting said out there. Arthur Newman, Lorenzo Amoruso, is he staying or is he gone?
Well, there's nothing cut and dried yet. We just have to wait and see. It looks like Arthur's gone, but nothing else has been decided.
It's probably not the time, but you have new faces as well, you can guarantee that.
Yeah, well, we've set a standard this season, and we know that our opponents, Celtic and all the rest of the Scottish teams, Premier League, will be accredited league next year. I see it been much stronger, the league in general.
Set yourself a fair task to follow next season, Alec. Congratulations.
Cheers.
Dundee disconsolate as they pick up their runners-up medals, but really it's been a season of success for them. How far have Dundee come under the management of Jim Duffy? So much improvement, and no reason to fear even the big two in Scottish football. And Fabian Caballero has been a top player for the Dens Park team this season. Achinovo picks up his medal, and Julian Speroni behind him, a young goalkeeper, the Argentinian, full of promise. And Jim Duffy has done a magnificent job, and he's seen the benefit since the winter break with a strong run of results. And they ran Rangers very close here today, and that is of great credit to Dundee. And it also gives hope to Scottish football that teams out with the Old Firm can compete against the top two. Teams like Hearts and Kilmarnock and Dundee and Dunfermline want to close the gap, that huge gap that currently exists. But the Old Firm domination continues, not since this time in 1998 has one of the major trophies in Scottish football gone to any team out with Celtic or Rangers. Well, Barry Ferguson, following in a long line of big-name Rangers players, Jock Shaw, Bobby Shearer, John Gregg, Richard Gough, Lorenzo Amoruso, have all picked up the trophies which accumulate to make the treble. And now it's Barry Ferguson's turn. It's the treble for Rangers. A glorious season for the Ibrox team is crowned by victory in the 10th Scottish Cup. It was a cup double last season. The difference this time around is they are champions as well. What an achievement. And you just wonder how well both halves of the Old Firm might do next season in European competition. That's the next level. That's the big disappointment this season for Alec McLeish. Don't mention Victoria and Žižkov to him, because that European defeat still hurts. And while Rangers licked their wounds, Celtic powered to the final of the UEFA Cup. And one wonders if both halves of the Old Firm might prosper in European competition next season. Both well equipped, and Rangers will go into those Champions League qualifiers as treble winners in Scotland. A lot of character shown by Rangers today. Some things didn't go their way, minus Lovenkrantz and Arteta and Caniggia injured before the match. They had to make changes during the final as well. But Alec McLeish, it seems, can do no wrong as Rangers manager. And right at the end of the line, very much in the spotlight, Lorenzo Amoruso. Barry Ferguson is getting used to weightlifting. He's lifted a fair few trophies in the last few seasons. He's getting used to it. And he has been a huge influence this season. The Football Writers' Player of the Year, the Players' Player of the Year. And it says much for Ferguson that he's won those awards in the company of the likes of Ronald de Boer and Henrik Larsson and Stefan Klos. But let's not forget what Dundee gave to this final. Their supporters certainly won't forget. Dundee played with a lot of skill, a lot of purpose, and really, you would have to say they weren't far away in the end. But the celebrations are for the winners, the treble winners. They partied last Sunday to celebrate the winning of the championship. And almost with just a little commercial break in the middle, that party will begin again as the Tennent's Scottish Cup heads for that packed trophy cabinet at Ibrox. And if Alec McLeish looks a proud man, you can understand why. An incredible achievement when you think that a lot of people reckoned he wasn't the right choice to replace Dick Advocaat. A lot of critics reckoned he wasn't a manager from a high enough level. And those people have gone very quiet now as Alec McLeish has powered to success in all the competitions which have faced him. And he's added a steel to the skill that Rangers already had. He's moulded the players together and he's produced a winning team. And when you think that he's got the better of the great rivals Celtic in all competitions, then he's edged out the UEFA Cup finalists, and that's no mean achievement. The UEFA Cup final for Celtic, the treble for Rangers. A season of glittering success for Rangers. Lorenzo Amoruso still wiping away the tears as he reflects on this magnificent moment for him to top off his Rangers career. Great delivery from Neil McCann with the free kick. All he needed was a touch. Lorenzo Amoruso got in ahead of Julian Speroni and diverted the ball into the back of the net. Rangers had to wait 66 minutes to make a breakthrough. But Amoruso struck with his 6th goal of the season, and Dundee were unable to come up with a response. In off the shoulder of Nemzadze, but it was Amoruso's goal, and Alec McLeish had to be wary coming down those steps as he saluted the Amoruso goal, which won the Tennent's Scottish Cup for Rangers. Now the lap of honour. And Stefan Klos did well to play the whole game, suffering with a hamstring injury, but he was always determined that he would see it out. Arthur Newman is leaving Rangers with 3 winners' medals from this season. He's with Chick.
Well, the first thing he's doing is bonus. He's Arthur, you talked about the emotion your last time in a Rangers jersey. Yeah. How do you feel?
Fantastic. I spoke to you last week. I said it would be fantastic if I could finish it by winning a treble. Again, treble. And after 5 fantastic years, if you can leave in the treble as well, I think that it's only something you can dream of.
In a mood such as this, no second thoughts?
You never know. You can never say never in football, but I try to enjoy the next 2-3 weeks. First of all, tonight we have a party. I think it's going to be late, a couple of drinks, but if you look around, you see all the people. Fantastic.
I know you've got a special banner and maybe you like shot the Rangers fans and we get a shot of it. It says thank you for the memories. Arthur Newman.
Well, Arthur Newman sending out a clear message to the Rangers supporters. 5 years at Ibrox for the cultured Dutch defender, and he's carried himself as well off the pitch as he has on it, and he leaves not just with a bag full of memories but also an armful of medals, 3 to add to his collection this season. And Bolton, we understand, lead the chase for his signature, Arthur Newman, but there will be a bit of competition, I would imagine, to sign Newman. Even at the age of 33, he still offers a lot, and he has rarely let Rangers down in his time at Ibrox. Let's hear from Lorenzo Amoruso now.
Lorenzo, I can tell by the look at your face how you feel. Emotional?
I'm very, very happy, but you know, all the things that are going on in this period about me leaving, stay, it's, I don't know. I don't want thinking about it, really. I want just to enjoy today, tonight. The whole season has been fantastic from everybody. These fantastic people here, you know. I don't know, if I will leave, probably this is the best way to tell thank you very much to everyone, because you know, it's been fantastic. Really.
Is there any chance you can still stay with the Rangers?
Oh yeah, definitely. But you know, probably we're gonna have a meeting with the. I don't know. Hopefully something.
The fans are chanting your name on the end, so I mean, I can tell by the tears in your eyes, this is an incredible moment for you.
Listen, 6 years for me have been a lot. I know maybe for a Scottish guy in the same country it's different, but for a foreign player coming in this country, you know, having low things but most of high is fantastic, you know, so will be a part of my life all the time.
Is there a possibility you can over the next few weeks before the start of the season not go to Blackburn and stay with them?
I hope so, I really hope so. I hope so. The chairman, the manager, I don't know, they sorted out some problem, they've got to the club, because we know it's, you know, money problem. And of course I'll go if really they need to sell me, because they need to close the gap about money.
We've got a bottle of champagne for you as man of the match over there. I'll give you later. Well done,
Thanks.
An emotional Lorenzo Amoruso. Is it to be his last game as a Ranger? If it is, well, he's leaving in style with a winning goal in this cup final, completing the treble for Rangers, their 7th in all and their 3rd in the last 10 years. Would it be unfair to describe it as just about deserved, but not much more than that, Gordon?
No, I think what they're doing is celebrating the treble now. I don't think they're celebrating today's performance. I think what you've got to let these boys do is now, this is a last game, celebrate the treble. Go on.
And it is a fantastic achievement.
And emotionally drained for last week. I've been there myself with Aberdeen when we played a stinker once, but we played Real Madrid 10 days before it, and you're tired out there.
Yeah.
I seen Celtic playing here last year as well when they won the title, played Rangers. Celtic were drained as well. Yeah. And that's what's happened with Rangers today.
Yeah.
But they're celebrating the treble.
Absolutely, and well they might. Billy, it wasn't the final we hoped it would be, but Dundee are due huge credit because they were very, very close to winning it.
Yep. First half okay, second half bit of an anticlimax. One set piece killed the game. I mean, I totally agree with Gordon. I think they're celebrating the treble. I mean, you've got to give full credit to Rangers. They've won it, but disappointing performance for them. But they'll not be caring about that. But Dundee, I thought, a bit unlucky in the day.
Yep.
Loads of chances, but one set piece, one silly free kick given away in a bad area, just killed it for them.
Yeah, and it was a silly free kick given away sadly by Zura Kizhnashvili, Gordon. You can't argue about the quality of the goal. Big Lorenzo got in, got his head to it.
Well, very important. I mean, there weren't many chances in the second half at all, and it was one of the few chances that were there to be taken, and Rangers made the best of it. But I said before the game, I thought that Rangers would win the cup, but Dundee would be the team that would get the credit. I thought Rangers would play a lot better than they did, even to win the cup, but they didn't. And Rangers had one of their off days today. Even at the end, it was walking wounded at the end and struggling. And I mean, Alec McLeish said it himself. If Dundee had scored late on in that second half and got into extra time, you'd have had to have fancied them with fresher players.
I think what we're all saying in the last 5-10 minutes, if Dundee got a goal, you would fancy them to go on and win it. They were the stronger team. They had 2 or 3 chances. Nacho Novo had a couple, and this chance fell to substitute Stephen Milne, and he just didn't quite get hold of it, Gordon.
Well, just before it, I said to the lads here, I says, look, they'll get one more chance before the game finishes it. And then the chance appeared, and it's a good save, a nice touch for the lad, and that was a chance gone.
How many chances did you say Southampton got in the last 10 minutes? 3?
They got 3.
I think Dundee got 3 as well, didn't they?
And that's what I said to Jim. As I said to Jim, if you stay in there till 20 minutes for then, it's only nothing, and 1-0, I think you've got a chance to extra time. And I think they had chances to go extra time, you know. And I think they could have won it.
They could have, but in the end it finished 1-0. The man of the match, who else but Lorenzo Amoruso, the scorer of the winning goal halfway through the second half. And I think we have a man of the match winner as well, who will collect that TV watching kit of the widescreen TV and the lazy boy. Do we have that winner's name? There it is. It's Elizabeth McCool from Newtonman. So be watching a football in comfort next season here on the BBC. Well, it's been a remarkable season, and just try and put into words Alex McLeish's achievement, Gordon, and completing a treble this year.
It's a wonderful achievement. I mean, no one would expect it to begin this season, and we all knew he's worked out even to win the championship. You've got to give Alec a lot of credit for it. He's taken Rangers to the pinnacle in the Scottish season and taken them to a treble. Not their best performance today. That's all forgotten as history goes on. But just remember, they won the cup and they won the treble, and that's you've got to give them credit for it.
Yeah, and next season, I suppose, well, problem for Alec now, Billy, is, well, you've got to do it again, haven't you?
Set his standards now. So have the players. The players have been magnificent. bit stuttering towards the end there, let Celtic back in the league race, and today wasn't their best, but overall you've got to give them credit the way things have went for them. You can't ask any more, they've won everything.
It's a fantastic achievement. Gordon, Billy, Gordon, thanks a lot for your company this afternoon. Enjoyed it. It's been in many ways a historic season. It's certainly been a memorable one, both at home and in Europe, with Celtic's achievements overall and Rangers completing the treble for the 7th time. Dundee, so close, but in the end beaten by that Lorenzo Amoruso goal. On a day we'll all remember. Bye for now.
There's a murmur in the air, and I can't